Hi guys, it's Gecko, and today, well, tonight rather, I'm bringing you my January wrap up. It's the first wrap up video I've ever done, so kind of excited, to be honest, and a bit nervous, but got my cup of coffee, like I always do. Now, this month, got 7 books to talk about. It's not been my best reading month, unfortunately, but you have good months and you have bad months, even if Goodreads is telling me that I'm very far behind my reading goal. That's fun. Okay, I'm going to go through these books in order that I read them, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. I'm pretty sure I rated all of them 5 stars. Yeah, I think I rated them all 5 stars. So the first book I read was Destined by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. This is book number 9. I always say it's book 10. Book 10's hidden. Of the House of Night series, which is one of my favourite series. I'm doing a reread of this series so I can read Forgotten, which is somewhere here. It's at the bottom of this part, and then read Found when it comes out, and also the new UK editions of the Other World series are coming out as well, so I want to get the full series but freshly in my mind before I do my rereads. This is the 9th of 12, so I don't really want to talk about what happens too much, but this book, I like the fact that it's called Destined because it talks about destiny and whether we're predestined to do certain things, and it also talks about making a choice, which I really like. A lot of the decisions that happen in these books is the result of, are we choosing good or are we choosing evil? And this book really had some choices for not just the main characters, but a lot of the side characters in this had to make choices. And I really respect this book for what it did. I've read this book so many times, as you can see my copy is very well read. Spine is pretty much broken, but I do have 4 copies of this book, so it's okay. Next book I read was Red, White and Royal Blue. I have a full review of it on my channel, so if you want to know my thoughts for that, more in depth, go check that out. I really loved this book. It was a really cute romance. I genuinely love this book, and I think it's going to be somewhere on my books of the year. I think a bunch of these are going to be, actually I think a couple of these will be, because it's 1 month into the year and I've read some really fantastic books. Hi Loki. So yeah, we have a Loki behind me. I don't know if you can see him. He's just, you can see his tail. There you go. There's a Loki tail. Right, the 3rd book I read this month is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a very pretty cover. It's very nicely done. And in my TBR for the yearathon, I said I thought this would be a DNF, and I'm very pleased to say that I was wrong. I haven't DNF'd any books this month, so for the first half of this book, I'd say it's a solid 4.5 stars read. It was really good and I was really enjoying it, but it wasn't that level of the hype that it had. And I think the reason I thought I was going to DNF was because of that hype. Because it can't be as good as they say. But it really is. And it really hit that point for me around the halfway point where things started to happen. And as soon as I finish this book, I'll have to refresh. Yeah, the last line. I was like, the last chapter, I think, or maybe the last few chapters, I was genuinely glued to this book. And I'm so glad I read this. I've pre-ordered the sequel, which doesn't come out until September. I'm quite sad because I want to read it now. But yes, this was so good. This was 5 stars. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that there's another book in the series. It changed my opinion. Halfway through the book, my opinion on certain characters changed. I initially went into this book, did not like certain characters, and at the end loved them, thought they were fantastic. And I wish they were real, because they were really awesome. Now, the last 4 books are library books. The first book I read, first library book I read this year is Unite Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is the novella bind-up for Destroy Me and Fracture Me. Destroy Me is Warner's story that takes place after Shatter Me and before Unravel Me. And Fracture Me is Adam's story that takes place between Unravel Me and Ignite Me. Back the covers. I genuinely enjoy the Shatter Me series. I forgot how much Warner had grown on me from the first to the 3rd book. And then I forgot how much I loved Adam in the first book, partway through the 2nd book, and then realised that he's a dick and I can't stand him. But in Fracture Me we did get to see Kenji, and Kenji makes everything worth it. He's like the ultimate friend and I love him. And also we got more of this sort of writing, which I really liked. So this, the Juliet's journal at the back, kind of went through, was always put through in Warner's story, but it was all put together at the end. But yeah, I'm now, I was putting off reading Restore Me, and I think it was because I hadn't read this, and now I have. I can go into reading Restore Me at some point. But yeah, it's a really good novella bind-up. I love Tahereh's writing. And yeah, really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to reading more Shatter Me World books this year. The next book I read was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. These last 3 I actually finished tonight. This is about ghosts at Yale, secret societies, murder, trigger warning list that's like insanely long, like wider than the screen. But this was a really good book. When I got to about a quarter of the way through and I was like, it's okay, it's not dark, it's not twisted, it's a dark fantasy, I like it, it's not incredible. And then we had a power cut. And I can't sleep in the dark. I'm not scared of the dark, but I can't sleep, I need light. So I sat in my living room and I read this by candlelight. And I was enjoying the book, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get to halfway point to see if I want to continue it, because it's kind of meh. But the writing, as the story progressed, the story was so much more than I would have imagined. And the sequel doesn't come out till next year, so I'm really, really sad, and I want it now. Like everyone else who loved this book, we need the sequel now. But yeah. The next book I read was My Brother's Husband by Gengoro Tagami. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. Volume 2. It's about this man's brother who's married to this guy, but he dies. So this guy is fulfilling his brother's promise by going to Japan, meeting his brother and his niece. This is the concluding volume. I would love to see what happens next. I would love to see these people in Canada. I love the artwork. I love manga. I think manga is such an amazing story format. I love this so much. It was really sad in places, because it talks about how being gay is dealt with in Japan and maybe still in the world. But the way they dealt with it was just amazing. Of course, this guy was really holding some homophobic views when Mike came to stay. But it was, I think her name was Kana. Let me just find her name. Kana. I don't speak Japanese, but she accepted him straight away for who he was and had none of this societal attachments. And at the end, even the brother was getting really, really annoyed at homophobia, because he was like, this is Mike. She's not a danger. And thinking, what if my daughter grows up to be a lesbian? There's all this stuff. And it was really interesting to see how he'd progressed from the first book. And I am sad that this is the end, but it was really good, and it made me think about things I hadn't perhaps thought about in a long time, so amazing. And the last book I read was V. Schwab's Shades of Magic Steel Prince Volume 2, or Bind Up 2 I guess, Night of Knives, which is the graphic novel based on this trilogy. I've only got the first two, but this trilogy. And they follow this character's adopted dad. Background story, so it's like how he became to be who he is. And it's a graphic novel. It's really nice colour scheme, very V. Schwab, as she literally, all her books have the same sort of colour scheme. You can tell her books on the shelf. You don't even have to look at the names. They all have a very similar colour palette. So this is very her style, and I love it. I love this. I read Steel Prince last year, and this one is super good as well. The Night of Knives is a challenge, a game anyone can enter, and there are 4 doors, and each door represents a different challenge you have to overcome. So one's talking about magic and the other one's stripping you of that magic, and it's very interesting. I wonder if the 4 doors represent the 4 Londons, because obviously there's travellers and stuff, and it's a very interesting world. And of course on the back they have the street map, which I'm guessing is London as well. So it's very nice to see a character that I haven't really had many dealings with yet, but I'm sure he's going to come more into it. So I'm interested to know more about Rystad and see how that goes. So that was my January 2020 wrap up, my first ever wrap up of the year. I'm intending to do one every month, and I'm intending to do a TBR video. I think there's a couple of readathons in February that I'm going to be doing, so I have to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, afternoon, and you have a wonderful time. If you enjoy books you're reading, if you've read any of these, drop some comments if you want to. Want to recommend me a book, do that. And yes, Loki has disappeared, which is good because I don't want his constant meowing. He's really annoying. But yes, thank you, and I shall see you later.